guys? We're back. Hope you had a great weekend and a great Easter. We got some good stuff today. We got a rundown of what's going on in the NBA. And then we got some NMSU sports. We had some big-time news over the weekend for our golf team, and our baseball team and our softball team are doing pretty good. And we also have a special guest today that's going to sit in on the podcast. His name is Brady Rewalt, a.k.a. Triangle Head, a.k.a.
B-Layup.
B-Layup.
B-Layup in the building.
Say what's up to the pod, Brady.
What's up?
Got anything you want to shout out or anything?
No.
Shout out your friends.
Zane, if he's watching.
Watching, you mean listening?
Yeah, listening.
Cool. Well, we have Brady Rewalt in the house, and we're going to jump right into the NBA. Let us hear his tea.
All right, not a whole lot going on sports-wise, so in terms of what we talk about outside of our interview with Justin Hawkins, it'll be pretty short, don't you guys think?
Oh,
yeah, so NBA, couple days since we've last had a podcast, so a couple games have gone by through each series. The Raptors have had 2 games since the last podcast. Pascal in Game 3 went off, 30 points, 11 rebounds, no turnovers. In Game 4, after being sick, apparently Kawhi had the flu, I guess, and he had 34 and 6 today. Raptors up 3-1 on the series, going back to Toronto. Hopefully close it out. I anticipate them closing it out. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, Pascal's been hooping. It's really cool to see that. Never would have, honestly, when he was here, I never would have thought in a million years that I'd ever be seeing this. I was so surprised when I saw him go in the first round. But Ethan?
Yeah, I saw that stat that he had where he was just the 5th Raptor to have 30 and 10, and it was the likes of Chris Bosh, T-Mac, Vince Carter.
Yeah, all
and
household
Kawhi.
names.
Yeah, like big name guys. And this is Pascal, man. I didn't see this whenever he was here either. I mean, I didn't even see him going in the first round.
No, we were all surprised when he went in the first round. He's on the verge of a big-time contract coming up after this year.
Brady, what do you think about this series?
I have the Raptors in 5.
Raptors in 5. You've been watching it?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you think?
You're a big Pascal guy, right, Brady?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I'm
like
a big
Pascal.
fan of him.
You play with him on 2K?
No.
You don't play with him on 2K?
He doesn't like him that much.
No. Oh, I thought you were talking about with him.
Do you play with Pascal on 2K?
I play as Pascal.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But all right, so that's it for that series. Let's do the next
Celtics versus Pacers, 2 games since we last talked, but would you guys agree that was probably a really competitive sweep? Like the games were competitive. It was the Celtics won the series 4-0, first 4-0 in 8 years for the Boston Celtics, which is pretty good considering how good they've been the last few years as the 1 or the 2 seed. But Gordon Hayward's starting to look in Utah form when he was back in Utah, but 4-0 over the Pacers, really competitive, and another low-scoring game. All 4 games were really low-scoring, and it was just a gritty series. And it was competitive for sure, but I think without Oladipo, they didn't really have a chance, and they didn't have a whole lot of offense.
I know Brady wants to comment on one thing in this game. What did we watch today?
Kyrie did not do so hot in the first half. He was 2 for 7 with 6 points.
Yeah, he didn't play that well. And
also that dunk, too.
Miles Turner? That was tough.
That was tough.
Yeah, that was tough. What about you, E?
I don't know. I feel like these games, they were close. They were real competitive. I mean, that 4-0 sweep could have easily been turned, and it could have gone the other way.
Exactly. I mean, there were possessions away.
They were close games.
Yeah. I think that just shows the Pacers have been there before, but the Celtics they've done it at the highest level.
Yeah, and they had more firepower too.
Yeah, they got stuff. They got guys outside of Marcus Smart. They're healthy for the first time because Kyrie was hurt last year, and they had to plug in Terry Rozier, who played well, but still
Hayward was out.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Obviously, we anticipate Milwaukee and winning that series. So Boston and Milwaukee, that's going to be pretty fun. I think that this experience that the Celtics have will help them out a lot. But man, Milwaukee looks really good. They're winning every game by 15 plus. They're just a juggernaut.
They're clicking
right
on every cylinder right now.
Brady, what did you have? I know you the series is over. What did you have the series in?
I had the Celtics in 6, but didn't turn out.
So pick the team right, not the amount of games. All right, we'll move on to the Thunder versus Blazers. I think that game's still going on right now. Does anyone have a score?
I do not.
I left the house whenever it was in the.
We need to hold up. We need to talk.
I'll just pause for like 6 seconds.
Pause for like 6 seconds. Hold on, I gotta check the score. So I could just be like, as of last night, we were still.
Yeah.
We're okay.
Looks like it's.
Oh wait, hold up.
They're up 14 with 6 minutes. You could pretty much say that.
Okay. Yep. All right. Tell me when. What did I say last?
Just be like, okay, we'll move on to the next
Okay.
series. 5.
God damn, I keep forgetting to do that. All right, we'll move on to the next series. Thunder versus Blazers. The Thunder ended up losing after a good bounce back win. Trailblazers won. Damian Lillard played really well, and so did CJ McCollum. Those two, if you can't guard those guys, you're not going to win because those two outplaying OKC's guards, and it's not even close. And that's with Westbrook. So
I mean, they had the Blazers this game were having a bunch of guys step up too. I mean, Evan Turner been playing pretty well, and Zach Collins been playing pretty well, and it's just they're getting a lot more production from the role players than anybody else.
They're playing better without Nurkic because that was a disgusting injury that he got.
Yeah, seriously, you're right. Nurkic was having his best year as a pro, and Enes Kanter stepped right in, and they're playing just as well. And Enes Kanter's known for being like the worst defender in basketball at his position, so. But they're winning, and outside of that one loss where Westbrook had like 33 and 11, they're playing well, and I anticipate them to compete with whoever wins that Denver series. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Going back to go back to Portland, right?
Yeah.
So
Portland.
yeah, see if they can close that out. That'd be kind of shocking to me if they won that series 4-1. I just didn't anticipate it. I thought it'd be 6 or 7.
Yeah, and I definitely thought the Thunder were going to win that one.
Yeah.
Didn't you have them in your Western Conference Finals?
The Thunder, do I?
Or did you have Denver?
No, I had Denver.
I had the Thunder and I had the Thunder and the Warriors.
Warriors?
The Thunder closed the year out pretty well.
Yeah.
I felt, and I mean, PG was playing good, so was Russ. I mean, I would have taken them over anybody except for the Warriors.
And the Thunder, they had a really good regular season. They had rough patches, but so does every team. And I think that they were starting to fire on all cylinders towards the end of the year. But then PG had that shoulder stuff, so that'll be interesting to see if the Thunder can take it back to OKC whenever they play again.
Brady, what did you have that series?
I had the Blazers in 5.
Blazers in 5. So if they get that win, and you call
You had the
it
Blazers in 5? That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Layup with the
layup. You heard it.
No.
Can you tell the people who your profile picture is on Instagram? Because I've been wanting to know for like 6 months.
What's your profile picture on Instagram?
Right now?
Yeah.
It's a little baby.
Oh, okay. All right. Just so you guys know, everybody has been wondering.
Yeah.
Like everyone. That's the most question we've got since we started the podcast.
And where did B layup come from?
I just thought of it.
You just thought of it.
Usually nicknames come on their own.
But you know what? This one sticks.
Usually nicknames come on their own, and B layup is just sitting in the gym. Is like, yeah, I like that.
B layup.
Yeah, B layup sounds good. All right. We'll move on to the 76ers Nets. This series is by far the most interesting and most entertaining for me to watch. I don't know. I love the jawing and all that. The how interesting and entertaining the games have been, and the way that these guys are guarding each other. It's 3-1 Philly in Game 4. Embiid, who had been with the whole injury stuff with his knee, he had 31, 16, 7, and 6. I mean that's ridiculous, and he's ridiculous. Yeah, he's ridiculous, and that whole Dudley and Jimmy Butler thing with Jared Allen and Embiid. Jimmy Butler and Dudley got ejected, so it's a good series.
Brady has a hot take on Jared Dudley.
Oh, I think Jared Dudley should not be in the NBA. No one talks about him. Nothing.
He's a role player.
Yep.
I like him.
I had no idea who Jared Dudley was before this series started.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Like,
You didn't know who that was?
I had no idea. You look at him, and this looks like a dude that you would see playing at like a YMCA.
You guys know who Jared Dudley was?
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy looks like he just does not belong in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's had a good career. He's played a long time.
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
He's a dud.
Yeah. Full pun intended.
Jared Dudley.
Wow. Okay. I can't believe you guys didn't know who that was. All right. 76ers up 3-1. Brady, what'd you have in that series?
I had Sixers in 5 again.
Sixers in 5. I think I had the Nets and losing in 5 as well. But that's an interesting series. Even though it'll probably end up being 4-1 or 4-2, but it's going to be one of the more entertaining series that was 4-1 or 4-2 of the entire playoffs.
It's weird seeing the Nets bounce back from their past seasons.
Yeah, this is their first time in the playoffs in like 5 years, and that was with like the Joe Johnson days.
I mean, the team they're playing has so much talent, and they're in these games.
You said it on I think our first podcast or our second podcast that their roster is the best on paper.
Yeah.
The 76ers.
Yeah,
So-
on paper. I mean,
And
they're
competing.
studs at every
They're
position.
competing, and that'll be interesting to see how they play against Toronto if they assume
It's
that
a
they
good
win the
matchup
series.
too.
Yeah.
Especially Ben. He can play any position.
Hit us.
Here we go.
All right, guys.
Brady, this is a joke. This is
Yeah.
okay. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did the coffee file a police report?
Okay, wait, no, I want to get this. Why did the coffee file a police report?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Me neither.
Because it got mugged.
That was one of the ones where we're
Yeah.
like, why are we friends with you? All right, there's that. I don't know. I like the Nets though. I really do, and they have space for 2 max players next summer or this summer. So everyone talks about the Lakers, but I think New York and Brooklyn are better destinations.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think people are gonna want to play with D'Lo.
Yeah, after what he's done, he's mature. Bryce and I knew him. Well, Bryce and I met him when he was taught when he had a 40-point game, and then he said he needed to get back in the lab after that.
and he definitely was not back in the lab.
No, he definitely just went home and went to sleep because we played the next day.
Also doesn't know how to work a microwave.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, we were in the team locker room, and D'Lo comes up in there, and he did not know how to work the microwave or the blender.
Yeah, so he called Nick.
He called
Nick Young.
yeah, he called Nick Young, and he's like, man, how do I use this? And then he goes, bro, it's a microwave. You just put it in there and
But
press.
then Nick tried to do it. Nick couldn't. Do
Yeah,
it.
Nick didn't know how to use the blender.
So they had the.
Was it the trainer?
No, it was the team cook or.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, because she was right there. Yeah. Well, yeah, it shows you how smart D'Lo is.
Yeah.
But he seems to have grown up a lot.
He's got
So
ice in his veins, and he likes to cuss on national television.
Yep.
I played
That
like.
was-
Yeah.
And then the dude goes, "Hey, you can't say
Yeah.
that. Like you can't. Just so you know, you're not allowed to say that." All right, we'll move on. Nuggets versus Spurs. Nuggets went into San Antonio in game 4 and beat them. And they beat them pretty handily, 117-103. Jokic does what he does. Night in and night out, 29, 12, and 8.
He's so underrated.
Walking triple, I
Yeah.
think he should be in the conversation for MVP, and he should
Yeah.
be first team All NBA. So
He does it on both sides. Like
Yeah, he's
on
amazing.
offense, he facilitates, he scores.
Passes.
Yeah, the guy's doing everything for
Yeah.
him on the offensive
I
side.
think this goes 7. I think it goes 7. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it'll go.
I had Spurs in 6.
It's Spurs. Yeah, I had Spurs in 7. I like the Spurs system more than any
Yeah.
system in the entire NBA besides the Warriors. So I think that when you're playing against the Spurs, like Bryce said last podcast, you throw the numbers next to your name out the window.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. 2-7 does not matter.
It does not matter. That's why the Nuggets were probably. So the Nuggets were mad when they got that draw, those tie-breaking scenarios.
I would've
They're
went
like,
to
we got the
Spurs.
Spurs, we got Pop with all these young guys. They're hungry for playoff wins. Yeah, I don't know. Brady, you said you had them in 6.
Yeah.
The Spurs. That's pretty. I like the pick.
Brady, did you get into our bracket challenge?
Are you a fake fan?
Fake.
You're fake because I already know that
You
means.
didn't get into our bracket challenge?
Dude, I told you.
Dude,
What do you mean?
thank God he didn't, because
He'd probably
he'd
win.
probably be winning right now.
Yeah, I'd
If
probably.
he got him in 6, yeah, but yeah, for sure.
A lot of the stuff he said so far has been pretty on.
Yep. Bucks and Pistons, by far the most boring series.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you like watching blowouts, then this is boring. The Bucks are just manhandling them, and it's not even close. They're blowing them out of the gym. Blake Griffin helped a little bit, made it a little bit more competitive, but still 119-103 in game 3, and they had 7 guys in double figures. Like I've been saying since we've been talking about the Bucks, that they're so deep. They play 11, 12 guys on any given night, and they'll probably do that up until the conference finals, and they shorten their rotation a little bit. But I anticipate this to be 4-0. Blake Griffin, have you seen what he's wearing on his knee?
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
massive.
It's massive.
Yeah,
It
He,
looks,
also, he tweaked his knee the other night too.
yeah, he did. Yeah,
On one of those like a putback.
that
rebound.
shows you he should not be playing.
Definitely
Definitely
not.
not.
They
He's
had
surprised me.
ruled him out, and then now he's.
That just shows he's definitely a hooper. Like he wants to play.
Oh, yeah.
And I respect that. I respect the hell out of him for it because he'd rather lose playing and get blasted playing than just sitting there watching them get destroyed because it was not even a contest.
Well, I don't know. I'd be surprised if he plays tonight. After being down 3-0 and them seeing him tweak it, I would be surprised. You wouldn't. At this point, it's not really worth it.
There's no
You're
point.
not coming back against the Bucks down 3-0.
No.
It's not gonna happen. No way.
Yeah, that's a business decision right there.
What'd you have, Ready? 4?
Yeah, I had Bucks in 4.
Yeah, I think I did too. Did you guys all have them 4?
I had
Yeah,
5.
You had 5? I thought the Pistons would have got one had Blake
Yeah.
Griffin maybe played in the earlier games, maybe
Yeah.
game 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I
thought
just
they
don't
would
see it.
still won, like on a last minute
Something
shot
dumb,
or
yeah.
something crazy.
We haven't seen Andre Drummond do much in these series.
No, he's putting up around the same numbers as what he was averaging, but he's just not a factor.
Yeah.
He's I don't know. They seem so slow out there, and
They're just overmatched.
Yeah, they're just overmatched. That's a 1-8. That's what should happen. Bryce said it before, and that's what they should be doing.
Yep.
They should be blowing these teams out. They should win every single game up until second, third round.
And like I said, I think this is a good series for the Bucks to get started with.
They're new to this.
They're new to this, and they're supposed to be the best team in the East. So.
They were the 7 seed last year.
Yeah.
And then they took Boston to 7.
Yeah.
But that just shows you they have virtually the same team. They added Mirotic and Brook Lopez, but they all just got older. That shows so much what age and experience does for you.
This is so good for him,
especially great.
Especially getting everybody worked in, so that everybody gets touches and everybody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're turning into the Spurs because Budenholzer's a pop guy. He was Pop's put out so many head coaches. They're turning into the Spurs with their system, playing a lot of dudes. Outside of Giannis, they're all relative in scoring. I mean, Giannis is ridiculous, but
Pretty deep.
yeah, I don't know. I think that they're turning into something that's going to be around for at least 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. What you got, Brady?
I had Bucks and 4.
Bucks and 4.
Yeah. This is the most shocking one for me. It's that Rockets Jazz series. I thought this would be close. I think one of you guys had them at 7.
I had the Jazz.
Yeah, and I think
had the Jazz too.
And one of you guys had them at 7, right?
I think I had them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, regardless, though, it's 3-0 Houston.
Yeah.
Harden went 3 for 20 in Game 3, 22 points, 10 assists, and I mean it's just crazy. He doesn't care at all any shots he takes or makes. He's the best offensive player we've seen in the NBA in I don't know how long. It's just what he does every single night and how many ways he can score the ball at all 3 levels, 4 levels if you count getting to the line. But I don't know. I thought this would be at least 2-1 or I thought this would be at least 2-1.
Yeah, I mean this is on the verge of a sweep, and I don't think anyone, regardless of if you pick the Rockets or the Jazz, saw a sweep coming out of this.
Yeah, no team I would have expected a sweep.
What do you got, Brad?
I had the Rockets in 5.
Any thoughts on the series?
Don't like James Harden's shot selection. He's taking.
Where is Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah.
He had 34 last night. Last night? Or 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago.
But I don't know. It's just I think that's why they've had some struggles in the first couple of games. Was he's not?
Yeah, definitely the first 2 games he was absent.
He played really well. I think Saturday night.
Yeah.
Saturday night. He played really well Saturday night. And Kyle, did you see what Kyle Korver said about him? He's like, this dude is 22 years old, and I've never seen someone come into the NBA and take a stranglehold of a team at that age. And that dude is like 35, and he's top 20 in 3-pointers made all time, and considered one of the best shooters of all time. Because he is, but I mean that just says a lot about him.
I thought he was top 5.
Kyle Korver? I don't know what he is actually. I really don't. I know that he's made a lot of threes, and that's where he makes his money though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I think Utah will get this last one. I don't think that they'll.
I hope so.
I don't think they'll get
I
swept.
hope they put up some sort of fight. I want to see this series last a little longer, just because I think these. I don't know. I feel like these teams really match up well, but it's just not showing.
You just want extra rest for the Warriors. That's all it is. You just want that extra.
We don't need no rest.
Yeah, and then speaking of, we'll hop on over to the Clippers-Warriors series. Last night, around midday, they played 113-105. Warriors over the Clippers.
Klay Thompson
Jumped in the ocean. Somehow got his shot back.
7 for 7.
And then Durant and Thompson combined for 65 points.
Yeah.
If you can get that out of your 2 guys, what did Steph have?
He didn't play good.
He didn't have 12? Did he have 12 points or something like that?
I think, and it was a lot of them were free throws.
Yeah.
He didn't shoot it well.
Yeah, he didn't shoot it great, and he was shooting 60% from the 3 coming into game 4.
Yeah.
So we'll see. They're going back to the Bay, and this is their last hoorah on the Bay before they go.
I can't wait for Patrick Beverly to be out of the playoffs.
I love Patrick Beverly.
Patrick Beverly.
He
That
gets
dude's a
some
dog.
players'
That dude is a dog.
He's gonna be a dog in the doghouse after this series is over. He's gonna be sitting on the couch.
Wait, is that the doghouse? The couch?
Yeah. That's
Right.
what his doghouse is, on the couch, because he's a loser.
All right. Okay. Well, there's that. So I think that's all we got for the NBA.
So Brady, why don't you tell us the rest of your bracket?
Yeah.
So in the next series, you have the Warriors and the Blazers going
I
at it,
actually had.
or you have the Warriors and the Rockets going at it.
Yeah, I have the Warriors in 7.
Okay, and then you have the Blazers and the Spurs.
The Blazers and Spurs.
Blazers right here.
Oh yeah. I have them in 4.
Blazers
Sweep.
and 4. And then you have the Bucks and the Celtics.
Yeah, I have the Bucks in 7.
Okay,
Then
Sounds like that's gonna be a good series.
Yeah, and the Raptors in 4.
against the Sixers.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're moving on. Who do you have winning between the Warriors and the Blazers?
I have the Warriors in 5, and
Okay.
then
And then the Bucks and the Raptors?
I have Bucks in 7.
So you got the Warriors and the Bucks going at it, and who do you have winning the championship?
Warriors in
That's what I thought. That is what
Why are you mad at
I
me for
thought.
It's because they have a stacked team.
W.
Yeah.
Championship. That's all I have to say to you.
Okay, all right. There's the NBA for you guys. Not a whole lot of sports going on, so we're actually going to head over to the college game.
God. But before we do that,
We got a joke.
Ethan, go.
What a joke.
What do you call a man with a rubber toe?
Roberto.
Roberto.
Dang it!
Yes!
Oh, you got it?
Roberto.
You still said Roberto.
Yeah, but
You
like
said Roberto.
Roberto. It's because I heard that. Yeah, I finally got
What
it.
a stupid joke.
Did you get it?
No,
Chalk
but
it up.
we got it.
Chalk it up.
It's
It's what?
It's Bryce and T and
It's
whoever the
4-1?
guest is. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
4-1.
We won. We won.
I'm winning.
Okay,
I
it's
got
fine.
one.
We're not supposed to
Alright.
know these.
Okay,
All right.
anyways,
Go over to some college stuff, right?
Yeah, so we'll
Bryce is gonna
start.
Give us the rundown.
Ladies first, as always. We had our softball team take on
Gentlemen.
Grand Canyon at home. They got the series win. They won 2-1. And it's funny, I live right next to the softball complex, so I can basically hear what's going on from my room. I don't even have to go watch. But beating Grand Canyon is always nice for New Mexico State. So that was good to see that. Our baseball team also went up to Utah Valley and got a pretty good series win. They opened up the series with a 14-0 win over Utah Valley. They followed up the second day by losing 9-10, and then they finished off the series with a 12-11 victory. So if you can in college baseball, if you can win every weekend at least 2-1 every series,
Yeah,
You're gonna
be
double your record.
you're solid.
Also, shout out to Kelsey Horan.
Yeah.
I think on Friday she broke the record and now is the record holder for most home runs in the women's in this softball program. So congrats to you if you're hearing this. If not, then if you ever see her,
And
shout her out.
congrats to Tristan Carranza for the baseball team. Dude's in second place now all time. Home runs for the baseball program here. That dude just mashes.
Yeah, I mean we have guys that are in like the top.
Yeah,
no,
do you
we have
see
a bunch of
AY?
guys.
You see Adam Young tweet it like every 3 days. We got seven. We
Yeah.
got seven. We got 7 guys leading this and this,
Yeah.
and then we got this team. We got our team leading this many
They lead in
categories.
batting average,
Runs.
hits.
I think Joey. I think
on-base
it's Nick. I
percentage.
think it's Nick and then Joey.
Those guys are
1
good,
and 2.
man. Those guys are
runs
good, man.
scored.
Yeah, and Joey's like I think he's either number 1 or he's in the top 5 nationally in RBIs. The dude just brings people home.
And I mean, if you've ever, I don't know how many games you. I don't know. I know he hasn't been in any, but
No, I can't get
any
it.
baseball games? Have you been in any baseball games this year?
No, I haven't gotten a
I
chance.
mean, these
But I
dudes.
keep up with it.
Yeah, these dudes are hitting home runs like Brady's throwing pitches to them. Like it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no, these guys are mashing.
Yeah, I know.
Loser.
Brady's been to a couple games, right?
Yeah.
But you don't watch any of it.
No.
You
You're
just
always
hitting on them girls or what?
No.
ladies
I
man.
just
You're the ladies man like T.
Be late,
Stop.
getting those girls.
No.
Belay pulls it in. Come on.
Wait, let's settle this for the viewers. Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
Why not?
Do you have multiple
Because-
girlfriends?
No.
No.
No girlfriend right now.
Any
Right now?
boyfriends?
What about next
no,
week?
No boyfriends. No.
Did you He answered that normally. She's like, no boyfriends.
No,
No boyfriends.
boyfriends.
Just not right now.
So give us an update on your life. What's going on in your life?
Yeah, we're done. We're done.
Yeah.
So-
Oh wait, one more thing. We
We're
brought
done
home
all
another
sports.
WAC championship. New Mexico State's bringing home another WAC championship.
Oh,
Our golf
yeah.
team. Shout out to our golf team. They went to a playoff hole.
Yep.
Dominique Galloway, I believe, won the individuals. So that's always good. I mean, obviously bringing home WAC championship trophies is just more the better for New Mexico State. So shout out to the golf team. But that's all we have for New Mexico State sports. Brady, let's hear about Brady. What sports are you playing right now?
Playing basketball.
I think
and
you're
then-
also in badminton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, underwater basket weaving.
I was about to ask, how's that going?
Yeah.
I know you're.
I think you're in second right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, second.
Yeah.
He's right behind Professor Poopy Pants.
Yeah.
And he's all tournament. The captain underpants character.
Yeah. Professor Poopy Pants.
Do you even know who that is, Brady?
Yes, I read all the books.
You read all the books?
He's in first place in underwater basket.
I'm sure my mom and dad can attest to this. You do not read.
No.
So you did not
Can you
read.
tell the
books.
story?
I read-
Can you tell the homework story?
Oh yeah, here we go. So we're going to do a quick homework story and then...
Yeah, you were in my mom's class.
Yeah, Brady doesn't want this story to be
yeah.
told. So back in the day when Brady was younger, he would come home with homework on Monday that was supposed to be turned in on Friday. Every time he would come home, my mom would check his backpack and she'd find the homework. So Brady eventually caught on and was like, here's what I'm going to do. Tell us what you did.
I hid my homework under my bed.
So he comes home Monday
Got
after
any homework,
school,
Brady?
before my mom checks, hides the homework under his bed. So my mom goes, Brady, do you have any homework? What did you tell her?
I said, nope.
Nope. So she goes, let me see your backpack.
And there was no homework.
There's no homework in it. So then Thursday night rolls around, and what's going through your head? Do you even care?
I was starting to get a little worried.
Yeah.
What did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah,
Like it was just gonna go away?
I don't know.
Would you ever do it, or would you just?
Yeah, I think I did it. I think my mom got mad at me though.
Yeah, I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
But so that strategy didn't work out very well.
No.
It's bold strategy.
Also, tell the people you want to talk about Fortnite or anything.
I don't play Fortnite anymore.
What do you play?
Well, I play 2K19 now.
You don't play Fortnite anymore.
I'll play occasionally, but
This is a guy that nobody in this room will beat at Fortnite, or I don't know a lot of people that will beat him at Fortnite. It's kind of scary.
No, definitely not me.
It's kind of scary
That's
to
how,
watch him
that's
play.
how Lil Aaron is.
Lil Aaron?
Lil
Shout out
Your
Lil
brother?
Aaron.
Little brother, yeah. That dude
Oh,
lives
Aaron.
on Fortnite.
Fortnite?
Like, he cries when my parents sit there and they're like, Aaron, time to get off. Because you guys have been to my house. His room is missing a wall in the door.
Oh yeah, that's open.
It is a loft. So you can hear him yelling at the TV. And oh, dude.
Lil Aaron, man. I love that dude. I love both Lil Aarons in my life. I've got 2 Lil Aarons in my life. One's really, really good.
Yeah, shout out to Lil Aaron. Also, big news this week, everybody. 2 things. We want to remind you, for Friday's episode, we are going to do a recap, whether Ethan likes it or not, of Endgame.
I will not be in here.
I will be standing outside because apparently he signed some contract with the Russo brothers.
If you retweet the tweet, you can't say anything about the movie. You don't want to spoil it.
Okay, well, we're telling you now, we're going to do a segment on Friday of the Endgame.
It's going to be hilarious because it's going to be coming from 2 people that have no clue what's going on.
T is trying to learn more about this whole Avengers series. I could care less. I just want to see the movie, and you're going to hear me try to talk about that on Friday, but it's not going to be good.
You act like me seeing like 4 of the 22
It's going to be better than me.
Okay, dude, I've seen 2 Iron Mans, a Thor, and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's
You've
better
seen
than
both
mine.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I actually only saw the first one.
Can you explain why Groot and Baby Groot and Teen Groot are your favorite characters?
Well, Baby Groot is hilarious and he's cute and hey, just so you guys know, for people that don't understand, he only says "I am Groot."
Yeah.
He just says 3 words, and apparently they all mean different things. But Teen Groot's hilarious. He gets that little gadget that he never wants to leave, and up until I started watching the movies, I thought Groot was a girl. So that's what I thought. Like I really thought it was.
I thought Billie Eilish was a guy.
I also thought Billie Eilish was a guy.
I thought your name was really James, but it's actually Harris.
No.
What? You're Harris. Yeah, Harris.
Okay, moving on. Also, another thing that's happening this week, Black Bear is dropping its album. We are very excited for that.
Oh, definitely.
If you guys tuned into when we talked about music, Black Bear was all of our top artists, so we're very excited for that. We'll also talk a little bit about that on Friday. But do we have anything else?
Yeah, we do actually.
Wait, is that over?
Yeah, it's
no,
over.
Your poll length was like 5 days.
Okay, well, it's over. It's for the
it's
next
over.
podcast. It's over. It was
So,
until we got to the next
if-
podcast.
for
Bryce
those
has
of you-
lost
yes,
the
Bryce
poll
lost
of
our
Marvel of they got next. So Bryce has lost. First of all, we'll do the Wet Willies outside of this because that's a little bit weird to do it on the pod. So let's hear your embarrassing
We'll post
story.
a video of it.
Yeah, let's hear your
that's
embarrassing.
happening right now?
Yeah, let's hear your embarrassing story.
Yep.
To end the podcast right before we jump into Justin Hawkins' interview.
I was not prepared for this.
All right, tell us.
All right. Well, fresh off the top, let's see it.
Okay,
Let's
well,
talk about
if I would have thought more about it, I probably wouldn't have used the story, but because this is the most recent thing that happened, yeah.
Oh, snap.
So I'm not the only one that's involved in this. Tennessee's also involved. We went to a party, our friend's party I'm not going to do any name drops. I'm not dropping any names.
No, don't.
I went to a friend's party and was approached by a couple of girls.
Yep, this
And I don't even know if I say that. We were flirted with. We flirted back. We got talked into buying pancake tickets. I'm pretty sure we were used for $3 a pop.
definitely used for $3.
So $6. They tricked us into getting.
And I had already bought pancakes,
Yeah.
so I had.
So you weren't even there for the pancakes.
No, we did.
Like, you were not This was not an effort
Yes,
to buy
I was trying to get some pancakes.
I wanted pancakes. They jokes on them. We just wanted pancakes.
Yeah. I got my pancakes. My frozen strawberry gooey pancakes.
Those are I remember those.
But shout out, I'll do a sorority name drop. Shout out to Zeta for the pancakes because those were good, and the strawberries were good also.
Fun.
But yeah, they put on a very nice event. But yeah, there's my embarrassing story. I was not ready for that.
Later, speak.
All right, should we get to our interview now?
Let's get to that interview.
Definitely.
Okay, so we have Aggie legend, and he played professionally overseas and back here in the States. Justin Hawkins. This is a very long interview, so we hope you're ready for it. But it's if you're into basketball, this is perfect for you. So stay tuned. Here's the interview.
All right, guys, it's here. Got a big time interview for all you older Aggie fans and people who've been in Las Cruces for a while. We got Justin Hawkins in the building. Big time Aggie. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I know you doing a podcast now. I didn't know you was doing a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, you're old. Well, you're an old head now. Old head. All right. So we'll just jump right into it. You're a Cali native.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, like Long Beach area, right?
Yeah,
So I think you went to Mayfair, right? Mayfair High School.
Right.
So he went to just a little rundown. After graduating high school, he went to Utah and then transferred to NMSU after his sophomore year. So as far as before you got into college, you were big time AAU. You were on a big time AAU team and played against like all sorts of pros. So talk a little bit about the team that you played for and who the players that you were able to play against.
Well, man, bro. When I started out playing AAU, like when it got serious, I was playing with SoCal All Stars.
Yep.
Then I started playing with them in like 7th grade, and when I played with SoCal All Stars, we never lost. We probably went like 2-3 years we didn't lose a game. We were winning nationals. Like we played against LeBron in nationals.
Yeah, because I remember we've talked about before. You played against some of the biggest prospects.
We played LeBron in nationals. We beat them in the championship. Yeah, and like our practices used to be crazy because like I am kind of an old head. Like Paul Pierce played for SoCal All Stars too. So like at our practices, it'd be like Paul Pierce, Tyson Chandler, Tayshaun Prince, Baron Davis.
Oh yeah,
like, everybody is in the gym like they're like playing and practicing at the same time. So it's crazy.
And then that LeBron team that you beat, was that the one that was featured in the More Than a Game?
Yeah,
So
that was that
so
one.
you guys, so just so you guys know, if you've seen More Than a Game, where they went up around the where they did the documentary on his upbringing in his high school, the team that beat him in that nationals, Hawk was on that team. Right. So that's just a little food for thought right there. That's the type of level that Hawk was playing on and against. So you had a lot of interest coming out of high school. You had offers from like DePaul. You had interest from Notre Dame, Marquette, Oregon. Obviously, Utah offered you. You were ranked 11th in the state of California, in the top 100 in the country. Talk about the differences from now and then, and what it's like for that recruiting process to be at one of the higher level recruits. Talk about that a little bit.
You know, I think when I was playing, you know, it was a lot of competition, right? Like being from LA and then being on a team, you know, that I was on, because I played on other AAU teams too, you know, in certain tournaments, but it was just so much competition. Like me and Trevor Ariza were on the same team, like, and we're like in the game, like competing against each other.
Yeah.
You know, like to be the top was value. I think we learned a lot of that in my generation. We learned that from probably the last generation of kids that was like playing outside at the park.
Yeah,
you know?
no social media, none of
We
that.
outside at the park, we hooping, and if you're not winning, nobody's talking about you.
Yep.
You know, and so if you're not doing your thing, you want your name to buzz in the streets, like, you know, by people going around saying, "Hey, you see such and such he had." So when we were playing AAU, we were just competing, and you know, I don't think it was. You had to really be doing something to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, with the internet.
Oh yeah.
Okay, people. I didn't know where Las Cruces was.
Yeah.
But now kids from Las Cruces get scholarships to go places.
Man, it's great.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? To have now have the technology for you to be able to get your stuff out. You know, I think that's probably one of the biggest differences between my era and now. It's just the internet.
Yeah. So because what do you? I want to know, what do you think the kind of the validity of recruiters going on these days? You see, I mean, this is cliche, but they'll offer dudes coming down, get a breakaway. They're offering dudes off of a windmill. They're like, oh, let's get that guy. It's like campus. Do you think that recruiting has changed in terms of more athleticism or actual skill? Do you think they're using the eye test more as a to recruit, or is it something else?
That's a great question, G. Honestly, I think it's always been kind of the same. You got some guys who value skill. Some coaches probably value shooting. Some athleticism. I think more athleticism is valued now just because the way the style of the game is. You gotta get up and down.
Yep.
You want guys who can switch and guard multiple players. But I also think the players are built for that now because science, I feel like players are way more athletic than when I was playing. There were some athletic guys like this, but just how athletic they are and then how long they last, in the NBA, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Science is ridiculous, but no, I think they probably lean more towards athleticism now.
Yeah,
than
no doubt.
Actual skill. Or what I think too at some point feel for the game, having a basketball IQ.
Yeah,
I don't really think that's valued as much anymore either because of the way the systems are. Everybody is trying to play like Houston. Get
a lot of shots up, kind of spacing.
Yeah. I mean, Golden State uses IQ to play, but most of the teams, they just try to play like Houston. It's easy. You get one player that's really good, one that's real athletic in the middle, and put three players around them who are athletic and
shoot the
teach
ball.
them how to shoot a three.
Yeah.
That's easy. That's the easy way to coach. So.
Yeah.
So you're a big time recruit out of high school. Had a bunch of schools looking at you. We got DePaul, Marquette, Notre Dame, Oregon, Utah. Why did you choose because you were at Utah your first 2 years? Why did you choose Utah? What was?
Well, the crazy thing, I was supposed to go on my recruiting visit to Marquette, and I had one set up to go to Notre Dame. I went on a visit to Arizona, and I went to Stanford.
Okay.
I always wanted to go to Arizona, and they recruited me, obviously, but Andre Iguodala ended up not going to Arkansas and going to Arizona. So it kind of
the same position.
Right. Discouraged me from wanting to go there.
Yeah.
2 players from my AAU team and another kid that's from my city, they were all going to Utah, and they're a year ahead of me. So when one day we was all talking after they had been in summer school, and they were like, "What you gonna do?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know. I was going to Arizona, whatever. Yeah, come to Utah." So once they said that, they called Coach Majerus. Coach Majerus called me that day. He talked to me and my dad for 2 hours. I was hooked. Just his honesty, his IQ for the game.
Yeah.
The way he loves the game is the same way I love the game. He's thinking about plays. He's drawing them out while we eating lunch.
And he's crazy.
No,
for people that don't know Coach Majerus, there's nothing like that guy.
I got stories for days. I can't even tell them on here. All X-rated.
Because people don't know. He lived in the penthouse at the top of the hotel. That's where he lived. He's a big old dude. He's in the Hall of Fame at Utah. He's known for his antics.
No, it's crazy. He was probably the craziest coach, but probably one of the just the way he taught the game. He's getting everything out of all the players. If you stay there, you're gonna get better. Yeah. You're gonna be the best that you could be for sure. If not, you can't play there. But that attitude right there made me want to go there because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get better.
So after your 2 years there, what led you to transfer here to state? What brought you to Las Cruces?
Well, Coach Majerus only coached me for 1 season at Utah.
Yeah, because he left after your freshman year.
And he resigned because of his health issues.
Yep.
And so they brought in a new coach, and I didn't really get along with him that well. We were good.
Yeah.
And we had Bogut that year, he was the player of the year. He averaged 23 and 13, something crazy, killing everybody.
Yep.
Number 1 pick, obviously. But he's leaving. I know the team is going to be around me next year. I know I'm the best player here.
Yep.
But the coach is not going to get the most out of me. We're not going to click. And I just felt like sometimes he would kind of push me to, like, do something crazy so that they could have a reason to say, like, why they kicked me off the team.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what? I need to leave. When I was leaving, Reggie Theus ended up getting a job here.
Yep.
He called me, same thing, like talking to Coach Majerus, like, knows the game, loves the game, was, I feel like, dedicated to making me into a better basketball player, so I ended up choosing New Mexico State.
So I'm going to talk about your junior year here at New Mexico State, because that was, for me, those were like my prime Aggie days.
Okay.
Like,
He's been here his whole life. Like, he's big time Aggie, diehard Aggie fan.
So I was at every single game. I mean, and that was when they had the game too, the video game.
Okay.
They had all you guys on there.
Yeah.
No names, just the numbers. Yeah.
Right.
So like you had Elijah.
Did you go in
Ingram.
there and like change the names and stuff?
Yeah,
like,
I would go in and I would put Justin Hawkins, Elijah.
Okay.
Ingram,
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and that was a good team that year.
Yeah,
You guys were
man.
legit, man.
Very good.
And then you guys played Arizona, I think, that year, right?
We did play Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
that
So
year.
what was it like growing up? You said you wanted to go to Arizona and then actually getting to play against them. Obviously, you played against them when you were at Utah.
Yeah.
And then when you're at New Mexico State, they were ranked, I think, like 15th or 16th.
Okay.
So I know it's a long time ago, but
Nah, I mean, I always remember games and
Oh, yeah.
stuff, man, especially big ones, but that was just like, and I think for all of us, and Reggie did a good job of this, is just making it like it's us first time.
Yeah.
Like, everybody think that they go there or whatever, but he's in the locker room like, Hawk, they recruited you, you know? Like, Elijah was at St. John's. Tyrone Nelson was supposed to go to Baylor, right, before all this stuff happened with, I forgot the guy's name, who was murdering the players and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
People. He had a scholarship there. They had everybody like John Lucas III, and they was gonna have a crazy team.
Yeah, I think my dad coached John Lucas. Yeah,
He did.
That's my guy.
Yeah, John Lucas ended up going to Oklahoma State, but he was supposed to go to Baylor first.
That's when they covered all that up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think B. Walsh was on that
He
staff.
was, yeah. So they were like, I mean, we had high major guys. So he's like, man, y'all can beat them. But this is nothing, you know. And so it was a good game.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the score was, but I know it was a good game. But playing in those games, in any type of like big games where we played against like Power 5 schools, I was in a different mode. Like,
yeah. And then I mean, you look at it back then too. The WAC was so much better, I think, than it is now.
It was
You got
strong.
teams like Nevada, Utah State.
Sorry,
Nevada
team.
was ranked.
What's up? I said sorry, bro.
That's all good.
It was a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. It was better back then, and it was cool getting the WAC tournament here because I remember those.
That was big time.
That was awesome.
That was big time.
So then I think Nevada was also ranked that year when you were a junior. I think JaVale McGee was there.
Yeah, a lot of guys.
Yeah. So and I remember you guys ended up beating him one time. But so you guys won the WAC tournament, get a bid to the NCAA tournament, and you got to face Kevin Durant in Texas. Talk about that game, man, because I mean back then, obviously Kevin Durant was legit, but you didn't know he was going to be where he's at right now. But.
Yeah, no, for sure. That was that game. It was crazy. Like going against KD, like getting that seed and having that game was once again. I think it was another game that everybody just relished the competition. You know, like that was the biggest thing about that team. Like we used to have like we're in practice, we used to have fights and stuff all the time. Like guys really getting into it, like because everybody was competing, like trying to win. And so when even our open gyms used to be crazy. Like Billy would like all the time call, like ask like Billy Keys.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, when y'all playing, like it was competitive in there, like
that's
for sure. But when going into that game, I think everybody was just kind of like, and then me, my junior, Kevin Durant, he a freshman.
Yeah.
You like, I'm not about to let him.
You can't hold me.
You know, but I mean, I got my buckets, but Kevin Durant was definitely like, you could see
that frame.
No, for sure. It's just like you trying to inbound the ball, and you can't. Yeah. He's like huge. And I'm trying to throw the ball in bounds, like just like chucking it as high as I can into the backcourt and taking the ball out of bounds under the basket. So just playing that game, man. Just wanted to be successful, man, and just show that I had game. You know, I could play too. But and we came up a little bit short, but it definitely is something memorable.
Cool. So yeah, you obviously had the red shirt after your sophomore year, and a lot of guys have to do that, and a lot of guys go the route of the JUCO. Obviously, you had already done your sophomore year. So for people that don't understand, maybe how hard it is on you mentally, kind of your mind-wise, where you're kind of forgotten about in that year, was it hard for you to redshirt, or did you know, like in your mind, like it doesn't matter how long it's going to be, or who's not talking to me, who's talking to me? Was it harder to redshirt than maybe it looks like?
Well, it is difficult, but like it probably wasn't as difficult for me as maybe some other people, like even like yourself, because there was like 5 of us.
Oh, so you guys had so there was a bunch of transfers that year,
right? So we all was in the same boat, and the people that transferred in, the team that they had at the moment, no disrespect.
That 5 could be.
We used to kill them at practice, like scrimmage games,
scout team, stuff like that.
Well,
for that year,
destroy them. Like they would make us scrimmage our team versus the guys that's playing. I promise you that we blowing them up like 30.
I'm sure they love that too, to be able to have
the coaches at the end of the day are like, this is great for us.
No, the coaches did. I mean, I think that team was like 14-14 or something like that.
Oh, that was one of the kind of the more average years,
right?
Yeah,
but it was right after the year when they won like 5 games or something like that.
What year was that? That 5, because everyone talks about that 5-win season as like the low point.
Oh yeah, that was low. And then Reggie came and like I said, they went 14-14, and but like they really integrated us into practice because they knew we was coming next year. And then we when those guys would be on the road, man, I'm like, let's get in the gym and we playing 2-on-2. Y'all know Phil, right?
Oh,
Samuels.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
he was in high school, I think, baby, and we used to like invite him. Like,
and he was a Division II guy, so he could play.
He could play.
Yeah.
So we made sure we had 10 guys.
Yeah.
So we was playing all the time. I'm playing in the AC and going to do shit like that. And, it was most of it was me knowing that I had to get better at something, and for that was me like my ball handling and my shooting.
Yeah.
Coming from Utah, I did not shoot the ball well, and I was like, I dedicated myself to becoming a better shooter that year. So
yeah.
So we'll pick up a little bit, talk about your pro career. You're a well-traveled guy. So you started out in France, you went to Belarus, you went to Finland. Give us a little insight about that. What was each place like, and the style of basketball? Did it change each place you went?
Yeah, no, the places that I've been, man, I'll tell you, it's no place like America. For real.
Coming back's always the best feeling.
Oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, you've been overseas, bro, for long periods of time. It's like, it's cool. Like, they try to take care of you in some places, but it's just nothing like being at home, man. And I don't care. I could be by myself, no family, nothing. I would do it here before I do it over there.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, I was in places where it was cold too. Like, I was in.
Can you play in the Middle East a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played in the Middle East.
Belarus was like, one day it was like -25 outside.
I don't know, yeah.
I'm at practice, like, I coach, I can't practice today.
It is too cold.
Our arena we shared it with a hockey.
Oh, so the ice was under the floor?
So it's super cold in the gym, like, I can't practice, but, for the most part, man, it probably helped me to become better today because, like, you do experience a lot of things and you talk to different people, right? Like, I'm talking to guys on the team that sometimes they don't really even know English, but we having the same sort of, like, issues and problems. So you learn a lot about life by traveling. I definitely would encourage anybody who can, like, you should travel, for sure. And I wasn't even, like, the person who's like, I'm overseas, like, I'm going to visit, like, different stuff.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm in, like, my apartment and I'm at practice.
Yeah. You're not going out sightseeing after practice, stuff like that.
I'm not even doing that. But now that I'm done, like, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Go back overseas and look at different stuff. It definitely teaches you a lot about life. So traveling around like that does it. The basketball is crazy. Like, they don't really know basketball all the way, I think.
They're just sitting there.
Maybe not, and not so much always the coaches.
Yeah.
I think it's like management. Management don't know basketball, but then they make all the decisions.
It's like I don't know. and you'll understand it, but the viewers might not. But like in China, the management, unfortunately, they would want like the darkest African American because you know what I mean. Like that's just straight up. They wanted the darkest player because so they would. Remember, like in China, when my dad was coaching, there'd be like one white player, and he wasn't even white. He was like Australian and stuff like that. Right. But then my dad tried to get certain guys in that were like light skinned. They're like, no, too light. They're like, we need darker. And we're like, wow, this is insane. Right. It's crazy. Like, and that just shows they don't know what they're talking about. They just want stuff that maybe brings people to the arena.
No, definitely, man. I'm telling you, man. I think that management doesn't know basketball. There's no real like rules to protect the players or the coaches too. You know, they just do what they want to do, and so that part of basketball is tough when you play overseas because it just becomes about business. You know what I'm saying, and less about the game of basketball. I mean, it's like that in the NBA too. It definitely is like that, but it's not the same.
Yeah, there's dysfunctional franchises like the Lakers.
Right.
You were around it, regardless, because the G League, the D League team back then, they were in the same facility, and you could see it firsthand. They're like, this is just dysfunctional, regardless of management. And then Magic walked in, and that was just like that was like a clown show.
For sure. No, definitely. It's business, a business. So
trying to make money
overseas, man. I think it's even worse. So, but the style, I think you learn depending on what country you're in. You kind of learn basketball. I think again. Because some of the rules, especially before, they kind of changed them now to be more like Americanized. But it was that. I remember the first time I played overseas, first game I played, I traveled like 6 times. I ain't never traveled like that. You know what I'm saying? Since I was like 6
You're probably
or something.
after each car like, dude, what am I doing?
No, I was really like, I thought they was gonna send me home or something. Like I kept traveling because like they really enforced like you're usually like putting the ball down before you go.
Yeah.
So I kept traveling. Like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And so I had to learn how to play the game the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like it really teaches you that way in the way that they coach and the style. So that's definitely an experience, man. But everything, man, being overseas, it definitely helped.
Yeah.
Turn me into the person I am today.
Yeah. So I bet you were pretty happy whenever you came back and played in the D League with this guy's dad. And
no, yeah, definitely. Because I played the D League.
You played with Maine, right?
Yeah, I was with I played before.
Or was it Springfield?
Too.
Oh, even before that, Springfield. Come on, yeah, Springfield. Was it with McKinnon? Did you play for McKinnon?
No, I was there the year before him.
I don't know who that coach
was. McKinnon was in Idaho when I was in Springfield.
Oh, okay.
And so I was with the Bakersfield Jam.
That rec center.
Yeah, the little barn.
Yeah, the barn.
Yeah. That was cool for me though, cause I'm still from LA, and Bakersfield's like 2 hours from LA.
Yeah.
So like I could drive back to LA if I wanted to, or whatever. Or people could come see me if they wanted to, and that was cool. Then I got traded. To Iowa, which was the best team.
Yeah, they were like dominant for like 3 or 4 straight years.
So during that time, I got traded. I was there like a day. They traded me again, and I ended up getting traded.
It's like the Ridnour thing. You got traded like 5 teams in 2 days.
I get traded to Springfield Armor, and probably the worst experience of basketball in my life. Like I don't know how many games we won, but I know this: we did not win a road game. Not one.
You were on the road. You were traveling to lose.
So what's that like? Like for everyone that doesn't know, like the behind the scenes stuff of getting traded. What is the whole process of that? So like you said you were there for 1 day, and then next thing you know, the next day you're gone.
No, there's nothing, bro. It's like I was in Bakersfield. I kind of knew I was gonna get traded then, because just the way we was playing, and just the situation. I wasn't happy. The coach wasn't happy. I wanted to be traded. I think it was better for everybody, so they traded me. I'm like I said, good. They traded me to Iowa. Cool. We wasn't winning in Bakersfield either. So at least I'll be on the team.
It doesn't matter.
You know? Cool. And they had veteran players, and I was willing to go there and learn from, like Otheus Jeffers and stuff like that. Like, so they had guys. They had like Trajan Langdon was there. Like, he had a lot of like veteran players. Like I said, I get traded the next day. Like, I didn't even know. I come to practice. You going to Springfield? Like, what? I've been here 1 day. So Like Springfield was terrible though, man. Like I know that organization's not around anymore.
I think I think they folded. I don't even think they're a part of. They don't think they changed into a team.
Bad. I was so ready to be done at that time with the D League. I was like, I'm not ever doing this again because they had my rights too. So like they wanted me to come back the next year, but I was like, cause I was killing. I think I ended the season averaging like 20 points, but like I wasn't averaging shit. I was so bad.
No, you're good. No, it doesn't matter. You're good. You're
I
good.
wasn't averaging nothing.
No, you're good.
In Bakersfield, and then when I got to Springfield, I was getting off. I was averaging like 26, 27, like killing. But we was losing. It was bad. We didn't practice. We didn't have shoot around.
Just games.
Just hoop.
Just roll the balls out.
No strength and conditioning. Like nothing, bro. Like,
That's how bad it was.
It was bad, man. It was
That's
bad.
crazy.
So, yeah, the good old D League. But playing for your pops was definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. You talked about like rock bottom of D League, and then the Defenders probably being one of the back then before they're now known as the South Bay Lakers for all you Aggie fans. That's where Jamario played the whole year, but they just changed 2 years ago from the Defenders to the South Bay Lakers. So talk about that was probably the premier. It was a little bit probably on the latter end of your career. I mean, towards the end, like so you were average. I think you averaged like 12-6 with my dad, 10-5. I can't remember. So just me being biased, where does that team rank on your all-time career? Because I know we won a lot of games in that story, going to the D League finals, and that team with the 17 breaks. Talk about that team and kind of what you did for a lot of the younger guys. Because I know that my dad said you were a huge influence on Vander, and you helped him grow up a lot. So talk about where that ranks on in your career.
That definitely might be like my most favorite year. You're right. It wasn't towards the end of my career. I definitely was I was not as fast as I was when I first played in the D League.
A little bit more methodical.
Right. And so, in the way that the game was, I was able to be effective, but I had to I couldn't do the same stuff that I did.
No, yeah. And then you dealt with was the hamstring or the groin stuff towards the end of the year?
My groin was messed up. So, that messed me up too. Because at that time, right before I got hurt, that's when I had just came off having 40.
I remember that, the 21-point quarter?
Yeah, I was ready to go. I kind of got my feel for the game and what I needed to do. I was ready to go, but I got injured. But no, that team, man, we had basketball players, bro.
All sorts of guys. Josh the Jet, Vander Blue, RG, Ryan Gomes played a bunch of games for the Clippers. He's now with the Nets, I think, as an assistant.
The G League team.
Yeah, the G League team, the Long Island Nets. Who else did we have? We had Manny for a little bit, Vander Blue, all those guys.
Yeah, man. Justin Harper.
He got called up. Andre Ingram. Yeah, if everybody knows Andre Ingram, he got called up with the Lakers. That really cool story. Robert Upshaw, had him for a little bit.
Rob crazy. And I actually played with Rob overseas last year. Nothing had changed.
And we had who was it? The guy Jeff Ayers. Yeah.
We had Jeff Ayers for a second.
We had him for 24 hours.
Right. But man, we had basketball players, so practice is competitive. We are always talking basketball, comparing players and different stuff in the locker room. Man, guys just work hard. Dad is by far the coolest coach I've ever played for. He on top of everything. Yeah. But he's just letting you do what you need to do.
Players coach, I think.
Do what you got to do. He's not trying to put no pressure on you or nothing. He's just letting you play, and he sees the game. He knows, especially on the offensive side of the ball, it's ahead of the curve.
Yeah, we led the league in scoring.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that your dad is I think offensively, especially, I think he's really a genius because he can take something that's already made, right,
and put a twist on it,
enhance it. And I think that's what he did with that offense that we ran.
Because it was D'Antoni stuff, right?
Right. Yeah, it was a lot of D'Antoni stuff and McKinnon. And he I think he took that and put his own kind of twist on it. I think he always kind of played that way.
No, he's always liked to play fast. I mean, all the teams that he's coached, been a head coach for, he's been up in the 115, 116 range.
Right. Yeah. He's always trying to play fast. So, him being able to, the wrinkles and the feel for who needs to have the ball. There's a lot of coaches that don't have that. They just coaching your dad. It's in the game.
Mm-hmm.
He has a good feel. His timeout. All that. When I think when he's coaching, he's thinking of like not just this game necessarily, but where are we in the season?
Yeah.
Like he may not call as many timeouts, and we go ahead and take the loss because we can use the loss as a learning tool to now go on a 12, 13 game winning streak.
Okay.
It takes a good coach to know that. Greg Popovich, these coaches, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Some games you're not gonna win them all. You have to let it go and
Take stuff from it.
So I think your dad was like that. So he really helped me as far as like even now being where I am. Maybe wanting to coach, just the way I look at basketball.
Yeah.
He definitely he helped me a lot in that way. So, but that was a very fun team. And
Yeah.
like I said, we went far. I think we could have won a championship.
One game short.
If everybody had.
But yeah, what did we have for that game? 6?
Yeah, we had nothing. I was one of the 6.
Yeah, you strapped it up for that last
I
game.
went in.
He
Like,
had to
I
play
was
like the whole
supposed to.
playoffs.
Bro, I couldn't. My groin was torn. Like it was. I could have really just really messed it up, but
We scored 63 points that game.
it was bad, man. It was nothing they could do, man. It was they got us. The timing was theirs, and hopefully everybody just used that as some sort of way to get better in their life, man.
Yeah.
So let's move on. A big thing nowadays, it's definitely grown over the past few years, is the NBA Summer League.
Yeah.
So I mean, talk about now compared to when you were there 10 years ago. I think you played for the Lakers and the Kings,
Yeah,
right?
Kings.
Talk about what the difference was back then to what it is now. I feel like it gets a lot more coverage nowadays, especially.
It does.
Yeah.
It's because there's only one now.
There's only
No, there's one big one. There's a couple
right,
private ones, but remember there used to be one in Salt Lake. There used to be the Boston one. The Orlando one was always there.
The LA had one.
The LA one had one too.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of Minnesota had one. They had a lot of them. But I think it's the coverage.
Yeah.
ESPN showing the games now, all the games.
Mm-hmm.
NBA TV. NBA TV probably was just coming around.
Yeah.
When I was playing. So like the coverage of that. It's just media, man. Like the internet, all that stuff. I think it really has, spread basketball to like where summer league is like. It's really like almost getting the same coverage as the NBA.
Yeah.
So, but it's the atmosphere there is just electric, man. Like it's everybody is there.
Yeah.
Like believe it or not,
Teams are there,
like everybody is there.
Mm-hmm.
So, coaches, people, celebrities showing his games. Floyd Mayweather at the game.
Yeah, and it's networking. So like people that are in the
Right.
college game, the
Right.
Final Four is where you go get jobs and where you network. Now it's a summer league. So if you're looking for just to get in, if you're looking to move higher up in the ranks, you go to the summer league. And it was still like that back then, but now in Vegas, like if you're not there, that means you're either not in the game or you are like Greg Popovich level. You don't have to worry about it. Like now you know that.
Right. That's for sure. It's definitely like that. There's just so many people there and just walking around moving, and it's Vegas, so that's always fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know y'all 21. Yeah, everybody 21.
I'm 21.
I'm 20. Yeah, he's
So
21.
you can't go to Vegas shit, but yeah, it's Vegas. You know what I'm saying? So that's always fun too.
Yeah.
But I definitely enjoy summer league. I'm watching it all the time. So.
Yeah, it's interesting too, and I think that the social media stuff has fueled it with these rookies coming in and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Like this year summer league is crazy.
It's gonna be insane.
Williams,
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
John
come
Williams is
on.
gonna be crazy. All these prospects
Yeah.
that were big time. Yeah, this guy's a big Duke fan, like die hard.
Yeah, so all those guys just coming out of Duke.
The Lonzo Summer League was crazy. All stuff like
There's
that.
gonna be a lot of guys, man, that's coming out. It's gonna always be that way. So.
Yeah. So I want to talk about one thing that kind of you and me, we worked out for the past 5-6 years together in the summer,
yeah.
and whether it's you working me out or my dad working us two out,
Right.
I know Kobe was a big time influence on you in terms of work ethic.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Hawk's the type of guy that you can't get out of the gym. Like he's the one, because you grew up in those days where during the day you're like, the daycare or whatever. During the day you were just at the gym.
Yeah.
So talk about like the influence that Kobe had on you with the work ethic, because you would come back, we'd work out at 9, then you come back at 1, and then you go back at 6, whether if it's for pickup or another workout, then you go lift. So talk about that a little bit.
Man, that just came. Well, Kobe, obviously I grew up watching Kobe being in LA, but the one thing that I did get, I used to work Kobe's camps when I was in college. Like all the Nike guys have their like elite skills camps or whatever. And I was one of the counselors I did that 2 years.
So you've been around him and all that, and the way he's gone about his business for your whole life. Then
So we're watching him work out. We're playing 5-on-5 with him.
Mhm.
He's playing. I seen him. So I just saw how he worked, and I would hear the things that he's saying. He's talking about he's working out 3 times a day because most guys work out 1.
Mhm.
And if
he's starting earlier
at the end of the year, if I work out 3 times and you work out 1, he's like, I'm 3 years better ahead of
and
you.
you can't catch up, and
Right.
there's nothing you can do to catch up.
Like stuff like that is like, okay,
Yeah.
that's crazy. But so that definitely rubbed off. But then my pops was like, he was a hard worker too,
Mhm.
and so he kind of pushed hard work on me. But I just love basketball, bro. Like
That's the thing.
I just love ball, so it's like just being in the gym, I feel comfortable, even if I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Just being around, watching guys
Oh,
play, just talking. Basketball is definitely something that I like to do. So, going to the gym like that and working, I always just felt like, what else you gonna do?
Like it's not something that you had to do. It's something that
Yeah.
that you wanted to do.
Right.
It's something
I
that
need to do it every
you can do
day.
something different every time.
For sure, man.
You had to get my day. Like, come on, man, we got another one.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. I'm calling Coach. I'm calling Coach O like, man, come on, man, like, let's go. We gotta get in the gym. Be working out tomorrow. His dad like, man, I gotta do this tomorrow. But I'm gonna figure it out. Like, I'm still gonna go. You know?
We would go
like,
sometimes. The second
Right.
time, you're like, you trying to go again? I'm like,
Yeah.
sure.
I'm going to the gym though, and I always was like that, and especially in college too. I really started to develop that. Like, me and Jonathan Gibson.
Oh, yeah.
We used to be in the gym all the time, like late at night, 12, 1 in the morning, playing one-on-one, like full court. Like,
Full court one-on-one.
No, for sure, bro. I'm telling you, we're playing like full court one-on-one, one-on-one 2 dribbles.
Yeah, that's
all types of stuff, bro. Just love ball, like love the game. So, I don't really see that as work, man. I don't see going to the gym like work. Now, I hate lifting weights. I hate running sprints.
No
I hate
basketball
running.
player likes it.
It's some. I feel
There's
like
few
LeBron.
that, yeah.
Like LeBron is like into that stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like he always will be.
Yeah.
Like Kobe is a basketball guy, right? You see him now. He's like, he's gained weight and stuff.
Yeah, he's a little bit
not like-
chunkier.
Right. He's not like trying to go lift weights and run or anything like that. Like, he's just relaxing, but he loves ball. If somebody playing, he might go play with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just me, man. I don't see being in the gym as work.
That's when you probably never saw basketball as a job.
Mm-mm.
And that's what a lot of people think in basketball. If you play at the pro level, you're like, it's not a job. I'm getting paid to, play. You know what I mean?
That's what ultimately, honestly, made me retire was feeling like
It started to
basketball
feel?
become a job.
Yeah.
It was just a lot, and it was like, well, if I'm gonna do a job, like I'm working at home. Like I can do that easy.
Yeah.
Like, that's nothing. So when I started to feel that way, that's when I was like, man, I'm done. I'm just gonna stay at home. You know what I mean, and do something different.
Mhm.
In the early in my career, man, like I said, it was just all about the game of basketball, just trying to get better. Like those summer times, like with your dad, I'm really thinking about how I'm gonna be better for next season.
Yeah.
I've like taken inventory on like what happened the year before and what I needed to get better at, and I'm really focused on that when I'm going to. I'm like talking to your dad before I get home, like saying like, man, I want to do this, I want to do that,
And he
this
puts
is
it
my
in.
game. And some of the stuff like that your dad we used to work on me with, like how we did that one drill, we're dribbling from the corner up. You gotta shoot like off your left leg.
Oh yeah,
right
it's
leg,
just
off
random
the
stuff like
glass.
that. Yeah, off the glass.
Like I
forgot
make those
he hate that
shots
drill.
down, bro. Like it's crazy. Like
I
all
hate
the
that
stuff,
drill.
like it really went into like my bag. You know what I'm saying? To be able to make those type of shots.
Yeah.
When I was playing, but that's the stuff I love, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like once you play the game, once you work, and then you go in the game, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember when I was working on that move.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling, bro.
Yeah.
Like seriously, that's a
Yeah.
good feeling. All the work that you put in, just seeing the results. So, basketball, man, being in the gym, that's nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before we move on to the awesome stuff you're doing now with the youth, tell us a little bit more to wrap it up about your career, the emotional toll and the physical toll that was placed on you whenever you went overseas, had to leave your family, go get that money and continue playing.
Physically, I was blessed. I ain't really have no injuries. Like
That's probably, would you say that was the biggest one?
That was the biggest one.
That's great. And you had problems with it, but to say that's the worst injury, you're pretty healthy.
Yeah. I had surgery one time on my knee. It was just like wear and tear, from like spraining your knee and stuff. So they kind of
they go in there and clean it out for you.
But 3 weeks I was back on the court, and that was nothing, So no major surgeries or anything. So physically I feel good, but mentally was definitely the hardest thing. You go 10 years and it's like you miss birthdays, you just
holidays,
miss
stuff like that.
everything, man. And last year I was playing with the Syrian national team too, so I wasn't getting to come home at all. Like, I was gone like pretty much a year straight, almost. It felt like so. That's just a lie. And then my kids growing up, missing the basketball games and being there to teach them how to play and stuff. All that stuff definitely weighs on you, which, I have respect for anybody that's able to play overseas for an extended amount of time, because mentally, man, it's so hard, bro. But, I was able to do it for a little bit, so I just got to be happy with what I had. And like I said, everything that I went through has just made me into the person that I am today.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So we'll move on. We'll talk about Hawks House of Hoops. That's awesome. We love what you're doing here, especially growing up here my entire life. Never really seeing anything like that around. I know Ethan can attest to that.
Yeah,
there's really never been anything that we've seen like that. So we respect what you're doing. We love to see what. So tell us, for those that don't know, tell us what exactly that you're doing, who you work at, and what you want to do with it.
Man, so Hawks House of Hoops, man. Like I said, it's really everything I've been through in my life. Everything that I've learned, all the times that I failed. That's really what Hawks House of Hoops is. I don't know. I got like a passion for like just helping people.
Yeah.
Like I always want to help people.
Yeah.
And so, but it's like, what do you help people with? What do you help people do? You do with what you love. You know what I'm saying? I love basketball, so teaching basketball, helping kids with basketball. It's the logical thing to do. I want to see kids that are from this area that play basketball. I want to see them have a real chance to play. If there's things that, being from Las Cruces, I just realized this the other day. I've been in Las Cruces for a long time now.
Yeah.
Took an AAU team to Denver last week and we got killed.
We got killed.
I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So it didn't really bother me that much. I thought I seen the kids we had and they look good when you're in practice. And they playing against other kids from the same area.
Yeah.
Definitely better. But then we get to Denver. We play against Chauncey Billups All-Stars.
I forgot. Yeah, they used to be Chauncey Billups Elite, and I think they changed it though. But when I was in Colorado, I don't think I ever beat them, and I don't think it got to the point where I ever lost by less than 20.
Really?
They always had the best players. I don't even know where some of those guys are now, but I know they're all at Power Fives.
No, it's crazy. They were
Denver's got good hoops.
These kids in 8th grade, man, they coming down one time. Point guard drop it off to the big man running. He trying to take off he gonna go dunk. We don't have nobody doing that here.
No, it's different.
We and then I know this guy he runs a recruiting service and he's talking to the coaches all the time and the coaches are like, the kids there are skilled. They can dribble and shoot and stuff, but physically and just maybe game experience is not at the same level as a kid coming from California.
And that's probably because of exposure and who you're playing against every single weekend. Every day.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We play in our leagues, it's you playing against, I'm on the opposite team, I'm playing against Trevor Reese every day. I'm playing against Marcus Williams. I'm playing against all these guys.
Marcus Williams, I forgot
all
about
the time. Yeah, man. I'm playing against all these guys every single weekend. They got workouts during the week and we're going against each other, so the game experience is a little bit ahead. But I just want to give kids a chance, and I have a network of people, Coach O, Coach Jans. You got all these people, Billy Keys, people who have been places and have done things that when we all come together, we could provide, opportunity for kids that they never had here area.
Absolutely.
And from a perspective of people that have seen it at like the highest level, to be able to actually tell them like, no, this is, if you really want to be good, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
So right now we're just doing like private training and group training.
Yep.
I'm doing some team training now. Training a few teams. I want to do like, I do it now, but I want to do it more like basketball consulting.
Yeah.
Like for kids who they want to get a scholarship, they want to be evaluated.
Yeah.
They want guidance in like how their career goes.
The career process, stuff like
Right,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to be that too. We want to do that. Like I said, tournaments, leagues, all that stuff. Like man, I just want to bring a better vibe when it comes to basketball. If you go to some of the leagues now, it's no disrespect, because they still provided something for the kids, but I want it to be like where everybody who's playing, they feel like they playing in their NBA.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, most of the kids not gonna make it.
Yeah.
to the NBA.
Based on numbers, only like, what is it, 1% get scholarships at any level.
Right.
Yeah.
So see, that's crazy right there. So think about going to the NBA, but I want the kids to feel like, man, I remember when I played in the Hawks House of Hoops League.
Yeah.
They gave us the trophies.
Yeah.
They hung our banner up.
Yeah.
They let us cut down the nets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Stuff
saying?
that goes a long way.
Right.
Yeah.
That they always remember it. They got the picture where it shows it. And, T came and talked to my camp the other day, but they got T and other people as well that come back and speak to them and help them. Like, that goes a long way. So
He just wants to make them keep playing too, because like I know I didn't play basketball in high school just because I was playing other sports, but I think had there been the Hawks House of Hoops,
Like an outlet platform, stuff like that.
Yeah, there been another way for me to get better growing up, I guarantee I would have been playing in high school, just because I would have felt that much more comfortable playing, and I would have had a deeper passion to continue playing.
right. I mean that's what I want to happen.
Yeah.
Is for some people, it's survival of the fittest, right?
Mm-hmm. Natural selection, stuff like that.
So like, but if certain new resources are provided, certain people are going to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So right now, it's based, a lot of the way basketball is around here is the kids that are the most athletic from this area, they're gonna be playing on the teams.
Yeah.
Right? It's not always the kid who maybe loves the game the most, right? Where does that kid go? How does that kid get better? I want to take both. I want to be able to take the ones that's athletic and create a love in them, hopefully. But if you love basketball, I always say this. My daughter's team now, but outside of my daughter and maybe like two other girls, who are really like natural talent.
Yeah.
The other ones are just girls who wanted to play basketball. And I told them, if you dedicate yourself to it, come to practice every day, come to the gym and work out. Now we play against teams, they look at them like, how are they doing that? Because they come every day, they love it. Like,
it's just little things like that. If you come every single day, you work at something else, you obviously, I'll knowing your stuff, you're gonna get them better.
Right.
All they gotta do is show up,
right?
And they're bound. You can't not get better.
Right, you cannot get better, and then the biggest thing of what it is that I try to do is not even focus so much on like the skill aspect of it, but like the mental aspect of it. Like Tino, when I'm with T in the gym, I'm always telling them stay confident.
Yeah.
The next one is going in. Like, you have to really believe that. Kobe Bryant, Kyrie Irving, these guys, Russell Westbrook, like when they playing, they do what they do because they really believe this is how they play.
Yeah.
If you watch the videos of them in the summertime, like playing open gym, it looks like the NBA. It's the same
it's
stuff
exactly because you're playing for your rep, you're playing for pride, like where you come from, the name on your back. And when those, obviously those ones at UCLA, and then that one where that Melo is always working out. Those two gyms, they always have some of the best competition in the world.
Right.
There's like Jokic and DeRozan and Paul George and Harden and CP3 and all these. I mean, those are just a few. And you're playing against some of the best, and that's for hours on end. It's not just for 48 minutes. You're playing multiple games, and when you lose at that level of pickup, I mean, that feels so much, and it's personal.
Right. No, definitely, man. So that's that same culture is what I want to have and create here in Las Cruces. And I believe once it starts, over the years it'll grow, because even if you don't make it, and like say you don't get a scholarship or whatever, like I'm dedicated, especially with my nonprofit too, is to make sure that those kids have something as well. You know, you got the podcast and stuff going on right now. Like, what if it's another kid? What if there's a kid that's in high school or something and he wants to do a podcast? Where does he go to find out, you know, how he can start his own podcast?
Here, it would be us because no one else is doing it. We're the only sports talk radio or podcast or platform in Las Cruces. That ESPN radio here in Las Cruces just shut down like a year or two ago. So something like that where they want to try to start something new, we'd be the guys to go to because I guess we're pioneering something new, I guess, here.
Right.
There's obviously places all over the country and the world that do this, but as far as here, there's limited resources.
Right. So that's where I come in, right?
So it's the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know, you like to do that here, go talk to you know what I'm saying? Go talk to these guys and learn what it is that you need to do. But a lot of the coaches and different things, and for whatever reason, maybe it's not having the time or just the resources to be able to send them in the right direction. I think that it could be done, but it's going to take someone, and I think that person is myself, to reach out to these different people, different organizations that are doing things for kids, that want to help kids, and just come together, man, and just make. Because I'll do the basketball part, you know what I'm saying, but everybody else got to do their part to make sure that, you know, you can even be successful in basketball.
100%. You obviously probably numbers-wise, you've targeted the younger audience, like anywhere from 3 to 8 or 9. Right. Do you anticipate being here when they are in high school and stuff like that? Because obviously you said you want to create something like that, and I think once you get those girls and boys into high school, that's when it becomes something like, hey, they're all playing for the same AAU team, going to Vegas, going to all these all this going to Vegas, California, Kansas, all these big time AAU. Do you want it to be like that, where you turn it into something like generational, where people when they walk in, like, oh, that's Hawks House of Hoops? Right,
I definitely do, man. That is why I started to turn a lot of attention to the youth and starting to try to develop them now. I mean, obviously, I work with high school
you work with
and stuff like that, and I'm going to continue, and hopefully more come. But sometimes with the high school kids, at that point, the amount of work that you have to put in to go to the level that you want to, like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm gonna put you through it. And people don't always want to do that. And as a parent, are you gonna pay your money for your kids to come if they don't really want to be there?
Exactly.
So I understand. You start with the youth, and you start to get them playing, and you build teams. I'm hoping and wanting some of these kids to go to college and go to the league or whatever. I want teams. Like, I want all this stuff. I want to have leagues. I want to have a place where we can get a regular hoop in.
Yeah, because there's none of those. Yeah. We talk about it all the time. Like, outside of New Mexico State's pickup, when we play, which is closed door, like 99% of the time, there's nobody playing. And Coach Benjamin does a good job of getting guys in the gym, but it's only like once or twice a week, if that. It should be somewhere where it's scheduled every night, where there's like a group of 30 that can come
every night,
and then so that way sometimes there's only 11 or 12, and then you can have 2 courts if there's more. It's just like, it's not LA where you can go to LA Fitness or 24-hour Fitness, and that's big time competition.
Sure.
Like,
for sure.
If there was a Planet, like the Planet Fitnesses here that don't have courts. I mean, Bryce, you would think about the competition that would be there. It would be awful.
Yeah. Right. And I hoop at the AC. I try to as much as I can. Yeah. We've got good dudes in there, but even with like time constraints and stuff like that, it's hard because we always hoop at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Right.
Evenings, most people are free.
Right. After 5 sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to get people in the gym.
Right. And you can have a couple sessions too. Early session, late session, but I want that too. A place where guys like us, we can go hoop every day if you want to. Yeah. Because there's people out there that's actually want that. Yeah. And as the time goes on, like these kids that come through Hawks House of Hoops, now basketball is going to be a little bit better because they was taught certain fundamentals and different things at a young age. Now you got more kids that when they grow up and they just want to go get a hoop in. Yeah. Now the runs ain't shitty no more. So
it's I don't know. I just I see emulating that stuff that LeBron and his family and like that group did. You know, like they were all young when they started, and they turned in there like, you know, they walked into that tournament and these guys are playing 70, 80 games, and some they're like, I think we played like 12 or 13 games. And like, and I feel like what you're doing now, starting young, and then building something like that where it could be everybody knows each other, they're hanging out and becoming best friends, and that's what you're creating, friendships outside of basketball and relationships that go beyond sports, and I feel like that's what you're creating, and it's really good. And I really suggest and encourage anybody that is an aspiring basketball player or a parent that has kids that are not in sports or are basketball players to reach out to Hawk here, because he's going to get your kid right. And he's gonna push them and teach them how to work hard, and I think that's a huge thing and a huge factor. What we probably didn't touch on a lot, the work ethic that Hawk has been instilled, and he's instilled in many people. I feel like that's what he's instilling in these kids, even at such a young age. So reach out to Hawk, man. We'll have all your information at the end and stuff. So yeah,
I appreciate that.
We got two last things. And I think I'm going to know the answer to this one because we've talked about it before, but talk about the biggest differences between hoops now in 2019 and when you were growing up as a teen. And I think I know it, but I just want to hear it. Tell the people.
Hoops now and hoops in
talk about what's the difference?
Honestly, I think it's just the competitiveness.
Yeah.
Like,
guys don't want to play.
They don't like to play, man. It's not, I don't know why or what. I mean, 'cause I had video games. I love video games. You know, like I'm
still playing.
I had Nintendo, I had Genesis, I had everything, I had all the systems, but man, it was nothing that was. I always was going to go outside and play, or I was going to go to the gym and play, like period, every day, and then I might stay up after I got done playing and play my game, or I might wake up early the next day and play before I go back to the gym. So it's just not the same, man, and I think. Because of that, everybody is just friends, man. Like everybody is friends.
They can't leave the person, like the friendship stuff at the door. And Bryce and I, we've gotten into it a couple times while playing before, and I've gotten into it with a bunch of my friends, and I feel like that's changed so much. Like they think that when they get into it, like in pickup or when they're going at it against each other, then it carries over when it's done.
Yeah, nah, man. It shouldn't. It definitely shouldn't.
No, I mean, it's basketball, and it's just part of the competitive nature.
And that's definitely missing now. You know, that's one thing that I talked to your dad about this the other day. What was trying to create that culture with guys, even starting with the Aggie players now, is that I want those guys. They should be in the gym competing for real. Like we're going to the gym with your pops, we working out, and then me, Billy, whoever, we playing one-on-one after, and it's getting serious too. And I think that's what that's kind of what they need. I think that'll help take things to the next level. Yeah. But you know, with just the basketball around here, but competitiveness, man, is definitely lacking.
And I think another thing is I've noticed is when people show up to pick up, they have their five, and they're only gonna play with their five.
Yeah,
we never split it up.
And we're victim to that.
Yeah.
Bryce and I want to play with each other every single time.
Yeah,
but then at some point you gotta learn different stuff, because when you're on different teams, you do different stuff. You can work more on one-on-one stuff, because then it changes who's guarding you, who you're guarding. And I think that when you're playing with your friends, it's less competitive.
No, for sure. I mean, when you go on to play pickup, I think unless you're going somewhere where it's like, man, we know it's a whole bunch of people in here. Like, let's go with our squad so we can win. Yeah. But like, I'm a fan of like, if it's 10 of us in here, let's split this thing up. You know what I'm saying? Let's see who really is what. You know. I mean, that's just basketball, man. That's just competition. You know, and I'm like that in everything that I do. Yeah. I'm always trying to compete, trying to win. So, yeah, man. The competition, and hopefully that we can kind of bring that back around here.
No doubt. E, you got one last question for me? We do this at the end of every podcast.
This is how we wrap up every interview. You know, we talk about who your favorite athletes are. We're going to focus on NBA players. Give us your top 5 NBA. Who's been most inspirational? Who do you love to watch? You know, who have you tried to, emulate, base your game off of?
Regardless of position, you don't have to go
big men,
top 5,
some point guards, whatever.
So my top 5 players, like the players that I liked, this is not who I would say is the greatest of all time or anything, but my number 1 guy is Paul Pierce. Like, that's my guy.
That's
Like,
your guy.
I actually was just arguing with people on Facebook the other day.
Because was it tough? Was it with the
I
weights?
think I saw that.
Yeah, I told him I was
You
ready.
saw it?
I was
Yeah, I
ready.
saw it on Facebook. On Facebook.
I said Paul Pierce is better than Dwayne Wade. I'm ready to argue. Like,
Oh, you were just asking for it.
Everybody's coming at me. No,
This
for sure.
is his favorite player of all time is Dwayne Wade.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely thought I do. I honestly think Paul Pierce is better than Dwayne Wade. I don't know. Like, I think Dwayne Wade is great, but I'm definitely thinking.
Well, they're hard to compare. They play different.
For
styles
sure,
of ball,
definitely
different
are.
positions.
People don't understand.
But I'm
Paul
not-
Pierce used to be fat. He could move.
He can
Yeah.
move. He'll
Oh, yeah.
jump on you. He got buckets. But I think I looked at it from the standpoint of like the production. D Wade is putting in production, but what my eyes tell me when I watch the TV, D Wade is killing, but Paul Pierce is always controlling the game. He's just so calm, and at the end of the game, like, ball in his hands, like, I feel good. Like,
No, it is.
he's getting to his spot on the floor, and
That's amazing how he always got to that. He's like, I need to get right there.
he's getting there, and then he does so many shots to score. Like, man, I love Paul Pierce. So, Paul Pierce, Kobe Bryant for sure, T-Mac.
Oh, McGrady? That's a
T-Mac.
new one.
That's a new one.
T-Mac was definitely one of my guys. I
Paul
love
Pierce
T-Mac.
and T-Mac haven't shown up yet on our first three, so you're
really?
bringing some new ones in.
Paul, T-Mac. Shoot, I need two more. I'm gonna say Jordan, obviously.
Yeah.
Let me forget Jordan. Jordan was crazy. And then and that fifth one. The fifth one is always the toughest one, right?
Yeah.
But
So far everybody has gone with a big at the last one.
I was going with the big. I was gonna say Shaq. I was gonna say Shaq.
Out of all our three
Yeah.
athletes,
Yeah.
they've gone with the Shaq route. I think Gia, she ended up changing it, but everyone's gone with Shaq.
Now
at the end.
Shaq, man. I think Shaq is. He was just so dominant, bro. Like, he's.
Do you think he's the most dominant player to ever play? In terms of when you saw him with your own eyes, was he the most dominant? Because that man, in his earlier years of the career, he was bringing the ball up the floor
Bro.
at 7'1". I don't know how big he was then.
Whatever.
270, 280?
He probably was 3. He probably was like 3 then.
Yeah.
He was
He was
solid.
bringing the
muscle
ball up
too.
the floor.
Yeah. I mean, Shaq was crazy. I mean, I didn't get a chance to see Wilt, so I don't know how that looked.
I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, but
Right.
It
make it seem like he was playing against us or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
some garbage man.
right, like we in there, we just all little, and he's the biggest one. But Shaq was like, I think it was his personality too. Like, he didn't care.
Flamboyant, yeah.
He laughing, playing around, but he's still killing you, and you can't stop him. Whenever he decided to, like, he really wanted it, like.
That's why Kobe didn't like him that much, because he was so
Right.
he had that just like this flamboyant
Right.
I don't give a crap
Right,
whatever
right.
attitude, and
Right.
that's why they clashed. But
Right.
the production spoke for itself. I mean that dude averaged 30 and 16.
Bro, that's crazy. He was definitely dominant, man. So I have to go with Shaq, man, because I can't really think of anybody else that, off the top of my head right now that.
Well, that's a good fight right there. But yeah, Hawk, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me, man.
Go ahead and shout out anyone you want, or go ahead and give people contact information.
Yeah,
Okay.
Instagram, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So anybody who's interested in any sort of basketball training or, like I said, basketball consultant or anything, you can reach me on my cell, 575-288-0766. Or you can email me at hawkshouseofhoops@gmail.com or hawkslittlehooppers@gmail.com. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Hawks House of Hoops. So.
Cool. Well, yeah, we appreciate you.
Man,
doing
thank
this,
you.
man. It's
Thank
awesome
you.
stuff.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, that was Justin Hawkins. Great guy. That was a great interview. What did you guys think?
I loved being able to hear from him. That dude, just even him sitting here, you could see just basketball knowledge just radiating off of him. I mean, it was awesome hearing all of that.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, that's like a family friend of mine. My dad coached him for a year, and then my dad's worked him out because us being in Las Cruces, just like Hawk, we worked him out, and my dad worked him and I out for 3 years, all the way during my high school years, and now it's kind of come full circle. Now Hawk works me out, so I mean, you guys know that dude loves to talk hoops. I mean, was probably an hour-long interview,
Yep.
and by far our longest, but I don't think anybody is going to be upset about that because hearing into the mind of someone who's played in the pros at the highest level overseas and at the second highest level in the United States in the G League, it was the D League. It's just super cool to see how he's gone through his journey and how
and what he's doing for
what he's
youth.
doing for the youth and
Like, that's
working
so
guys
big,
out all the way up to the high
especially
school and college level. It's just great for the community.
Yeah, it's
and,
only going to make basketball better in this
and
area.
him starting young, like we talked about, it's going to 5-6 years from now when everybody's in middle school and
they're gonna
starting
be hooping.
yeah, they're gonna be good. And he's got a girls team and he's probably gonna have a boys team. So what a great guy, man. We appreciate Hawk for coming on the show. And that's it.
Yeah, so shout out to Hawk for coming on. That's it for Monday's podcast. So stay tuned for Friday's podcast. We're gonna have, just a reminder, we're gonna do Endgame. We're gonna do Black Bear.
Probably another segment of They Got Next.
Yeah, another segment.
Some
They Got
more
Next.
jokes.
Some more,
Unfortunately, some more jokes.
But so stay tuned. We're still rolling with this. 5 episodes deep. Number 6 is coming on Friday. So we appreciate you guys. We got Brady. Want to shout out to Brady one last time? Do you want to shout anyone out?
No.
All right.
Doesn't
Do you
shout
want
anyone
to say anything
Wait,
about
wait,
Twitter?
wait. Shout out to LeBron James for
Do you
being
wanna-
the best player in the NBA this season.
Okay. Do you want to put your Instagram out there so people can follow you?
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what your Instagram is?
Yeah, hold on, let me see real quick.
He does not know what his
Yeah, I
Instagram
think
is.
I just need to check.
What about the Twitter?
What about the Twitter?
His Twitter's private. Okay,
My name is-
tell him.
It's yo with 4 O's _ it's _ no capitals in any of this.
No cap.
_ Brady.
So yo 4 O's _ it's _ Brady.
Yep.
Okay, so go give Brady a shout out.
Look for that
go give
little
Brady a
baby
follow.
picture.
Yeah, look for Lil Baby, because if that pops up, you know it's him. But that's all we got for this podcast. We out!
Bye, buddy.
Lakers.
There's people.